Hello, I'm James,
And I'm Liv.
and this is a Criminal Maze podcast.
Welcome.
We decided to start a podcast series, Liv,
We have James.
looking at a criminal case from the start to the finish. You tend to find that newspapers just report that someone's been arrested and they've got so many years as a prison sentence, and people don't really understand what happens in between.
Yep. So we'll be following this fictional character through her journey along the criminal justice system and meeting the different professionals that she would come in contact with.
So the fictional character we've come up with is a young woman by the name of Kelly, in her 20s, works in the city, never been in trouble before, starts using Class A drugs, becomes addicted, and then one Friday night she decides to drive to a party. She's meeting friends at a party with a huge amount of drugs in her car.
Yikes.
Huge in terms of personal use, not dealing. And she's under the influence of drugs when she's stopped by police.
Oh no.
And finds herself in the police station.
Terrible news.
So we're going to be starting the series by talking to a police officer, Acting Inspector Ian Watkinson, speaking about what happens when he would pull someone over, entering custody as a suspect, the interview process, and then heading to court.
Right.
Who comes next, Liv?
So the next person our fictional character would meet, I think, would be the barrister. So we've got two barristers lined up. Oliver Kirk, who has worked for the CPS as a prosecutor, as well as on the defence side of things. And we've also got Alexandra Wilson, who is the Essex barrister, and she is the author of In Black and White. She's a criminal and family lawyer. And so we'll also be talking to her about her experience as a person of colour at the bar in England and Wales in this day and age.
Next along the line, we have the judge. So we're going to be talking to Judge Tam Ikram about the purpose of sentencing people and sentencing guidelines, because lots of people don't understand there are sentencing guidelines for each offence.
Mm-hmm.
And when they read in the paper that someone got a certain sentence, they think it's lenient or not enough, but don't understand that there is a guideline and a framework in place for the sentence that should be imposed.
Yes, love the anger that people with very little knowledge will spill onto the pages of social media.
The next, Liv, is a prison doctor.
Dr. Amanda Brown.
Known as the prison doctor, works in Bronzefield. It's the largest female prison in Europe, privately run prison. And she's going to be talking to us about what happens when someone enters a prison in reception. So if they need medication, and also as a GP within the prison as a whole.
Mm-hmm. So our fictional character might arrive with withdrawal symptoms or certainly be struggling with addiction. So yeah, Amanda's had experience of a number of those.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing her story, as I really enjoyed her books.
Yes, yeah, they were great, real page turners.
And Liv, who is the last person we're going to be talking to?
We will be talking to a prison officer, as the prison officer would be the last person that our fictional character would meet on her journey through this part of the criminal justice system. And Sam Samworth was a prison officer at Strangeways.
We're really looking forward to this podcast series, aren't we, Liv?
Yes, we are, James. And I think when you first thought of the idea and we were speaking about it, we were really excited about this podcast being an opportunity to illuminate something that is quite often not obvious to the general public, that is the criminal justice system. And even the people within the criminal justice system aren't necessarily clear on how they tessellate with other roles within the same process. And that's why we've called it the Criminal Maze. And we hope that this podcast will help everybody work their way through it.
The first episode is going to be released shortly, and we can't wait to share that episode and the whole series with you.
Enjoy.